Shingle Street, the Suffolk beach where silence became the story. At first glance, there's nothing dramatic about this place. A flat stretch of shingle, a low horizon, the North Sea over there doing what it's always done. And yet Shingle Street carries a reputation that far outweighs its size. Not because of ghosts, not because of monsters, but because for a long time people were told very little about what happened here. Before the Second World War, Shingle Street was a small exposed coastal hamlet. A handful of houses, fishermen, marshland and open sea. It was quiet, even by Suffolk standards. That isolation is important. During the early years of the war, much of the Suffolk coast was placed under restriction. Shingle Street was no exception. Access was limited, movement was controlled, and local people were told not to ask questions. Rumours began, as they always do, in places where official explanations are thin. Some spoke of military experiments. Others talked about unusual defences along the shore. A few stories grew more dramatic with retelling, as stories often do. What matters is not whether or not those rumours were accurate in every detail. What matters is that the community was excluded from the explanation. We now know from declassified records that sections of the Suffolk coast were used to test and prepare coastal defences during the war. This included experimental anti-invasion measures designed to deter or slow any potential landing. These were not secret in the sense of being sinister. These were secret because wartime Britain ran on necessity, speed and silence. Newspapers that speculated too freely were corrected. Reports were toned down or withdrawn. Details were deliberately kept vague. And that silence created something else. Local folklore. Not folklore of monsters or hauntings, but folklore of absence. Stories that start with phrases like, "We were never told," or "People stopped talking about it." And over time, Shingle Street became known as a place where something had happened, even if no one could quite say what. And that sense passed from one generation to the next. After the war, the restrictions lifted. The sea reclaimed its ordinary rhythm, but the explanations never fully arrived. There's no plaque here explaining the rumours, no neat summary board, no attempt to tidy the story up. And so the folklore stayed exactly where it formed, in memory, not myth. Standing here now, what's striking isn't fear or menace, it's how normal the place feels. That's the point. Shingle Street isn't unsettling because something terrible happened here. It's unsettling because people lived with uncertainty. And uncertainty has a long half-life. This is Suffolk folklore at its quietest. A story shaped not by exaggeration, but by omission. And sometimes that's more powerful than anything invented. If you enjoyed this video, please hit like. Please leave a nice comment and please subscribe to our channel for more content like it.